Hello and welcome back to the Media Lunch Break. My name is Andrew Dunn. I am co-host of the Media Lunch Break podcast. I also have my bachelor's in theater and speech communications and my master's in acting. And I am doing a series where I review the Mission Impossible movies. I had only ever seen the first two as a child, and I had never seen the other films at all. And I'm making my way through all of them, culminating in the last installment, The Final Reckoning. I'm making a video reviewing each of these movies in sequence. I've just watched Mission Impossible 6, Fallout, and this is going to be my review of that movie. If this is something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm putting out video reviews of the rest of the movies in this franchise as well, so if you want to see those, it'll be easier if you subscribe. Definitely hit that like button, share the video around, and I'm gonna talk about this movie now. If you haven't seen the other reviews that I've done on this franchise, definitely go back and check those out. I've just been putting them out sort of day by day, and the way I've done it is as I watch the movies, I take notes, and I'm just going over my notes, and then after I do that, I'm going to talk about the movie as a whole and what I feel about it in general. But without further ado, here are my notes on Mission Impossible 6, Fallout. Also, just keep in mind there are going to be spoilers for this movie. If you haven't seen it and you don't want to be spoiled, you should probably shut this off. But if you don't care about that, come along for the ride. First of all, great opening scene. This horrible, horrible fever dream where the villain from the last movie is helping Ethan Hunt marry the love of his life, and then a nuclear blast goes off and kills them all. Wow, what a visual. And then after he wakes up, he gets one of those little messages that happens in all the movies that tells him what his mission is going to be. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, blah, 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 blah. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds, and then it self-destructs. Here's a thought I had while watching this. How do you tell him you don't accept the mission? Like, it's your mission should you choose to accept it. But how do you tell him you choose not to accept it? I guess you just don't do anything, right? Because your mission is to do this thing, so then you don't do it. But then in this case, it seems like it's a pretty important thing, so if it doesn't happen, don't a lot of people die? Like, do they only send it to one person? How do you tell them no? Do you send another little thing back that self-destructs after 5 seconds? That just says no? Do you send them like a little, I don't know, a Tamagotchi with the word no, and then it blows up? I said in my first review of the first film, it's very bold to show clips from the rest of the movie in your opening title sequence, and I still think that's true. I didn't know that it was going to be happening throughout the rest of these movies, but it's very bold, it's very cool, it's risky. You have to have a good movie in order for that to work, and it usually does. And it gets me excited to watch the rest of the movie. I'm seeing these cool things play out. I wonder how they fit into the film. How are they going to pull them off? This looks so cool, I can't wait to see it. You know, that kind of thing. I wrote here, Henry Cavill sounds like one of the puppets from Team America.
Let's face it, if you'd made the hard choice in Berlin, I wouldn't be here.
If for some reason your cover is blown and the terrorists take you prisoner, well, you'll probably want to take your own life. Here, you'd better have this.
So that's a thing? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to feel about his accent, to be completely honest. Like, in a way, it is a good accent, because it just sounds like Henry Cavill with an American accent, and that's what you want, right? But it also feels, like, very stiff and kind of forced, which isn't really I mean, maybe it's because he's a spy or whatever, or maybe it's a character choice. But it's not usually how Americans talk. Americans are very like, whatever. It just sort of pours out of us. Usually British people are very stiff when they speak, right? Like, so I wonder if that's sort of just rolling over from, but again, a good accent, if you're doing an accent, should sound like the way you normally speak, but with an accent. So good on him, I guess. I think that's a good choice. But if I had to give one note, it would be to make it a little looser. But other than that, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my gosh, the woman from the last movie is back, and they mentioned his ex-wife again. I thought this was supposed to be the American James Bond movie. To be completely honest, I'm very impressed. I'm proud for them. I'm mesmerized by the fact that it isn't just like a woman comes in, a woman is shown the exit, and then a new one comes in and a woman is shown the exit. I'm impressed. I'm glad they're doing this. They're keeping a narrative thread going throughout these movies. It would have been way easier not to do that, but they're doing it, and I'm color me impressed. Next thing you know, they're going to be passing the Bechdel test. I mean, we'll see. I won't hold my breath. There's a part where they're trying to get 3 nukes, 3 like plutonium cores to make nukes, and Vanessa Kirby, who does a great job in this, she's the person selling it, and they're like, how do we know you even have them? And she's like, as a good faith upfront payment, we'll give you 1 of the plutonium cores just to show our good faith and our loyalty to you or whatever. And Ethan Hunt gets this plutonium core, and I wrote here, that seems like a pretty big down payment. A whole plutonium core, when you're not even sure that this person is going to buy the thing from you, that they're going to go through with the deal. You just gave them a third of your collection of nuclear fuel fuel, I guess, for lack of a better word. I think it's technically fuel. You gave him a whole one. You don't even know that that's the right guy. It seemed very odd to me. I also wrote here, wait, why aren't Benji and Luther here? And where's Jeremy Renner? The last movie was all about being a team. But they come back right after that. Right after I wrote the note down, they showed up. Not Renner. Renner did not show up. I don't know what his deal is. Maybe he was working on his app. I wrote here as well, these people are fucking terrible at their jobs. There's a scene where they're getting ready to put Solomon Lane, the main antagonist in this film, and the last one, a horrible nightmare of a human being, a terrorist, into this car. He's got a bag over his head. And what do? They open the garage door first as they're starting to put this guy in the car, and there's a police officer there just like checking meters and stuff. And look, she looks in and she sees this group of dudes shoving a dude who's handcuffed with a bag over his head into a car. In what world did you think that was gonna play out okay? You're in a crowded neighborhood. For God's sakes, do that shit first. Put him in the fucking trunk. What are you doing? They don't teach you that at super extra classified spy school? And Ethan Hunt was supposedly teaching people. Like that was the plot of the third one, I think, is that he retired and became a teacher. I mean, not a teacher. He wasn't like teaching math to third graders, but like he's teaching people how to be spies. And that thought didn't occur to him that before you open the big fucking garage door, you make sure nobody can see the hostage that you're trying to shove into your car? My God. I wrote here as well, wait a minute, that's not the same Kraut. I thought Solomon Lane was a different actor, but it's not. Same guy, just has a beard. It's amazing what a beard can do. I also wrote here, it took me 6 movies to realize that the main character's name is Hunt, and he hunts people. That's more of a note about myself than anything else. I wrote here as well, okay, he just jumped out of a 3rd-story window and was completely fine, but 2 movies ago he was pissing his pants over the thought of jumping out of a 2-story window. But whatever, I guess it's character development or something. I gotta say, watching these, I never say to myself like, oh, well, that was convenient, or oh, very lucky that this thing showed up. It's usually like the worst case scenario. Like things get worse and worse and worse for our heroes to the point where I really am like, how are they gonna get out of this? And every time they get out of it through like sheer determination and strategy. So kudos to the writers. There's never a like Deus Ex Machina that shows up out of nowhere. It's like, we pinpointed your location and alerted the army or some shit. It's like they fucking barely by the skin of their teeth make it out of these movies. I wrote here as well, at one point in this movie, Benji is trying to pick a padlock open with like a little picking thing, and it takes him a really long time, takes him like 10 minutes. Gee, it sure would have been nice if he had some of that gum from 6 movies ago. Where is that? That seems like something you would want to carry on your person, although if you sit on it weird, say goodbye to your ass. Maybe that's why it's not there. But you'd think these spies would have something like that. I mean, even Boris Greshchenkov in GoldenEye has the little pen explosive, or I think that was James Bond's and it makes its way to him. But like, they have stuff. You'd think they'd have like a little explosive that they can pick, a little dab of C4 that they can put on a lock and blow it up, you know, or something. I don't know. Instead, he's sitting there hitting it with like, I think he gets like an air canister and he's like trying to knock this lock off. And also there's a scene at the end here where they're counting down and they think they're all gonna die and they boop the thing and it like goes black for a minute and they got me. I thought everyone fucking died. I thought this was gonna be their Infinity War. I thought, well, yeah, they lost. They, you know, I thought for sure the people who were there were going to be dead. Part of that is because they did this really smart thing where Ethan Hunt, he's in another place. So everyone else is dealing with this nuke and they clip the wires and they're banking on Ethan Hunt having done something on time. And I totally thought he didn't. And I thought they killed all the main characters except for Tom Cruise. But I was wrong. And they got me. They did it. They did a good job. That was a good one. At the very end of this movie, Ethan wakes up and Julia's there and she tells him that she always sleeps soundly at night, knowing that Ethan will always be there to protect the world. And that to me has like very big, I promise I will never die vibes from Team America.
Promise me you'll never die. If you did that, I would make love to you right now.
I promise I will never die.
That is my second Team America reference in this review alone. That's strange. This was really f***ing good. I think the best one since the third one. I don't know that it's not better than the third one. I think it's better than the first one. Yeah. I think this is the next best movie after 3. This was really good. Where's Jeremy Renner? Where'd he go? Where is he? He was in these movies. And now he's not. He's just gone. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Mission Impossible 6. What's this one called? Fallout. Right, good name for that. Good movie. Great movie. Henry Cavill is great in this. Everyone's really in their peak. Everyone's great. This is a great movie. Man, I did not see a lot of the twists and turns coming. I did not see that Henry Cavill was not, he wasn't what he seemed to be. He's maybe a double agent working for someone else. I didn't see the twist where they took the actual guy, because they were supposed to leave Solomon Lane in a jail cell at one point, and they were going to have Henry Cavill watch him. And then they took someone, they printed off a mask, and Benji, Simon Pegg, puts on the mask, and they're like, all right, now you're going to pretend to be him, and we're going to go do what people are expecting him to do. Let's go. Henry Cavill, you watch this guy. And then they don't actually leave, and they didn't actually switch it. So they left Benji with the mask on. Fucking great. I did not see that coming. Really good work. It's a great movie. I would highly recommend watching it if you haven't. Even though I just spoiled the shit out of it, it's really fucking good. As we always say on the Media Lunch Break podcast, if you've got a good movie and spoiling what happens in it makes it a bad movie, then what you've got is a bad movie. I fully believe that this is a good movie. So even if you know what's going to happen, it's worth a watch. Great fight scenes, great action, great twists and turns, really good writing, great acting, chef's kiss all around. So yeah, that's what I thought about the movie. Feel free to give us a subscribe if you want to see my reviews on the next 2 films. There's only 2 left. I'm going to watch those. I've got one more to watch. I think it's on Amazon Prime. And then I'm going to go see Final Reckoning in theaters. Next video I put out is going to be a video on my thoughts of Mission Impossible 7 Dead Reckoning, which is the first half of the Reckonings. And I'm going to watch those. I'm going to put out that video. And I'm going to do the same thing I just did. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more reviews of the Mission Impossible movies. If you want to live vicariously through the eyes of someone who has never seen them before, that's what I'm here for. Also, please give this video a like, share it around. Feel free to leave something in the comments if you want to say hi. And otherwise, other than that, I'll see you next time. Cool. Catch you later.